Good morning, everybody. I'm here with the amazing psychic Liz Cross. We're having a heck of a morning, but we're going to get through this video. I don't know if you're going to plead the fifth on how you're doing today, Liz.
Very stressed out, which is why I hate Christmas so
Yeah,
much.
it's the Christmas holiday scramble. All
It
right.
is.
Okay, so we're going to do a video that's kind of I think we're due for it. We're going to probe software wallets and hardware wallets. We did it I don't even remember time anymore, probably like a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's a good time to revisit that. And a lot of people are talking about that stuff in the Discord. I've gathered some wallets that people are mentioning in the Discord, stuff that I am looking at also and using. And so hopefully we can cover a good ground for everybody in our group. Um, this is going to be a two-part video also. So if you want to become a member with us, you will see all of the videos that we do. You also get access to our Discord, which it provides a heck of a lot of value. And let me tell you, in crypto, this is the best deal going. Liz wants to make this, available so no barriers to entry for people that might not have a lot of money right now, and that's great. But don't sleep on this opportunity. Just because it's only a few bucks a month, trust me, it should be like a couple $100 a month for the value that people are getting at it and the value that people have got on it. So definitely worth your time to take advantage of that. And we'd love you to come over and join our group and participate. So how do they do that, Liz?
Go to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. So I will tell the general audience that they're not, our group isn't even just making chump change anymore. We've had some discoveries that are making people thousands of dollars. And I'm not just saying that, right? Because I want people, they need to understand, these souls need to understand we live in 2024. We need money to survive, right? Oftentimes, souls are like, yeah, I'll let them worry about it when they get on the earth plane. We don't have to worry about making money. They'll figure it out, right? So
Hmm.
to me, like, I'm sorry, these souls need a wake up call and they need to realize this is the world we live in. So we're picking through coins and stocks and everything else. What we do know and what the information we do have to tell our souls is that the more financial freedom we have, the more time we have to invest in our spiritual journey. And I think that's where a lot of times there's this like ongoing war between the souls and the conscious mind. The conscious mind knows that, the soul doesn't often know that. So, also within the group is the CTT channel, the CTT group that meets every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central. And those that have been in the group for a long time know how to send information to their soul. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things going on, and it's all, have you noticed, Mr. Photon? It's all just started to click into place. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Strange.
I think for a lot of people, for me, it started clicking actually earlier, I think, than maybe someone in the group. I don't know why that is, but maybe just the personal sessions we had together. But yeah, I've definitely noticed like that a lot of people catch up on that also.
Yeah, so this is awesome. All right, so we're looking at the wallets today to see which is safe and which isn't.
Yeah, or what's better, the better choice, maybe.
Okay.
Metamask is probably one of the most popular wallets out there that everybody can recognize. So I guess we're gonna call on my master team as usual on the moon to give us some additional direction on this. And we want to ask, I guess, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do they think of the MetaMask wallet in terms of how secure it is and the longevity of it?
Wallet on a scale of 0 to 10, how secure is the MetaMask wallet and the longevity of it? It's about a 7.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I feel like I mean, to be honest, like they're probably not going to go anywhere, but for the amount of money that they have, they really should be upgrading stuff in terms of just like making things user friendly. Because honestly, there's a lot of new wallets that are surpassing them in that. But these guys are the oldest, they're the most, trusted in terms of those wallets. So it makes sense. All right.
But
This is
don't forget, sorry, Mr. Photon,
mhm.
but don't forget, a lot of times when these wallets are hacked into, it's because people have emailed their seed words to
Mhm.
themselves, whether it's years ago. Now, if you're one of those people that have done that, Mr. Photon, would you say that they probably need to get a new wallet, a new set of seed words, and send the stuff from their old wallet over to their new wallet? Because if your
Thousand
seed
percent.
words,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, 1,000%. You need to do exactly what Liz just said. If you're sitting here listening to that and that's you and you spit your coffee out, um, and don't worry. Like obviously, if your assets are still there, you have a chance to just move it around. That's not a problem. And Liz is right. Like 99% of people getting hacked here on crypto is people just not managing their private key, and that's like step. That's like rule number one. Like when I give a consult to somebody, they're definitely going to make sure I make sure they understand about private keys and seed phrases and how to properly manage that. Because if you don't have that, I mean, that's it. That's it. That's the foundation of everything. So a lot of these projects we're going to probe, I'm sure, if the people are getting really like, hacked, it's going to be because their private key is somehow compromised. So, but I'm trying to see like which ones might be the best ones going forward. You never know what can happen, right? If there's a big, hopefully what we're trying to find here is if there's a landmine out here, we can just avoid that one, right? And
right.
that would be the goal.
And
So
I know that you offer those crypto consults for people so that they can, they know what they're doing. Because I'll be honest, when I first heard about crypto, well, first of all, years ago, my husband bought Bitcoin, okay, when it was nothing. It was probably a few dollars. I'm sure he had a whole Bitcoin somewhere. But because we didn't know what we were doing, that was probably 10 cell phones ago. And who knows where the wallet is and that Bitcoin is. Now it would be worth a lot of money. I wish we could have that Bitcoin, right? So, but
mhm.
we didn't have that education on the front end. And then I can certainly tell you that when I first jumped into crypto, I jumped in on all the hype. I was like, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that. I had no idea what I was doing. And then I didn't even know how to sell it. I didn't know what to do with it. After I bought it, I was stuck.
Yeah, that's a typical story, especially people coming in at this part of the cycle or going forward when everything's pumping and when everybody's excited about it. That's usually when you will kind of ignore all those things that you should probably do first. And you're just like, I'm just getting in. I don't know, you're feeling the high emotions. So that's a typical story. And, I offer consults so we can streamline that process if you're coming in late to the game to get all the information you need to know upfront, right from the beginning, so you don't make those mistakes. You don't know what you don't know, right? So it's good to learn from someone that has everything, right there for you, all the basics, so you can avoid those landmines that most people hit. So again, if
Yeah.
you want to reach out to me for a consult, it's my email. You can find more details there. If you drop me a line. It's digitalfreedomtactics@protonmail.com, and it'll be in the comments section as well.
Great.
All right.
We're so glad that you educate all these people. I always get very positive feedback from that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that someone's had a consult, they're usually like pretty blown away by all the information that I'm giving them at one. And I've had to kind of trim it back a little bit just because I've realized how much capacity other people's brains have, and I don't want to fry their brain too much. So don't worry, I'll be easy on you going forward. All right. So the next wallet we have here is a new kid on the block. I can't remember if we probed this last time or not. It's called Tangem Wallet, and it's a completely different model than in the past, where actually you don't have a seed phrase with this. But before I tell you the details of it, let's just get a reading on it, and then we can talk about it. So, Tangem Wallet, what does my master team think on a scale of 1 to 10? What's the security and longevity of this wallet?
Security and longevity of this wallet. What, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, this score is about a 9.
Interesting. Okay. And would they say, so let me explain why it's different, and maybe that we'll get the answer of why it scores a 9. So it's not using a seed phrase where you're writing down the words when you get the wallet. It is, they have these cards that they look like, I don't know if you like for an office, or well, you work for the police for a while. So maybe you use some sort of like a card to like sign in to work with, like a security card. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
something like that, where the private key or encryption is burned into the card, when you activate this thing. So you actually never see a seed phrase or a number or anything like that. It's literally burned into the card. And so this allows the protection that nobody can see your private key or seed phrase ever with their eyes. So nobody could take a picture of it or anything like that. It can't be leaked onto the internet because it's completely disconnected from the internet. It's existing on a physical card. And it pairs up with an app that's on your phone. So when you set it up, you set up multiple cards. So I think it comes with 3 to begin with in the standard version, and each card can act as a backup. So if you lose one card, you still have 2 more cards. Now, if you lose all the cards, that would be the worst case scenario, and you wouldn't be able to restore anything. So you can have as many cards as you want, I think, or maybe 5 or 6 or something like that. I think they sell like a 5 or 6 pack. Then you would just, put them in different places, give them to different people. You could give them to someone, right? And they wouldn't be able to access your funds even. So it's pretty cool idea. And so can we ask my master team, the reason it scores a 9, is it because it doesn't use a seed phrase?
Is it because is it the reason that it scores a 9 is because it doesn't? Yes, and because nobody can hack into it
Right. Okay.
without that card. Now, for someone like me who is like a 3-ring circus in their house, I would die. I would lose all of that stuff. I would have to put it somewhere in a safe or safety deposit box at the bank or something. I
Mhm.
mean, I,
Hey, you
you
could do
know,
that. You could do that. You could put it in a safety deposit box in the bank if you wanted to, or
so
some.
let's ask this, is if we lose all the cards to this wallet, there's nothing, they just shot back at me. There's nothing they can do. They will not
Correct.
help you. There's no help desk. There's no nothing.
Yep. So yeah, you're on your own if you lose those cards, and that's pretty well outlined when you receive it. It's not a secret. The only issue that I would have with the cards is that, and I could be wrong about this, but I think the cards have like a shelf life. And I don't know about this specific because I was reading it for another thing that uses a similar system with cards, and I think their cards last 10 years, or at least they have an expiry date. I don't know if they just self-destruct with 10 years, but is that a risk? Can you ask them, is that a risk of the cards expiring?
Is that a risk of the cards expiring? Right now, yes. And do you renew them? No.
Right. So what you'd have to do, I'm assuming, is you have to buy new cards so the ones was hearing last for 10 years. Can we ask them, do they last at least 10 years or less?
I got less.
5 years?
Okay. 10 years, 5 years. About between 5 and 7.
Okay. So that's good information. I don't know that that's publicized on their website. I haven't really looked too hard, but I saw it on another project that their cards only last 10 years. And they claim to use we're going to probe that project actually soon to see if they're good too. But they said they use like the best cards in the world and they last 10 years. So maybe that's why these guys are cheaping out a little bit. So I don't know if that's public information or not, but that's good information I know a lot of people are using this. I've set up a few for some friends. I haven't purchased it yet, but I might now. So yeah, be aware of that if you're out there for these cards that you need backup cards. You're gonna have to order new cards just in case, and you can make more backups, after a few years, just in case. Okay. Sounds good. Let's move on to the next one. This is another one. I actually have an older version of this, so it's not the same, but it's similar. And then somebody on the Discord was asking about this as well, or maybe they use it, I think. And it's called Safepal. That's a hardware wallet again. So let's ask my master team in terms of security and longevity. How does it score on a scale of 1 to 10?
Safepal. On a scale of 1 to 10, how does this score? I'm only getting a 5 for this.
Okay. And is that because maybe the company is not going to be around for a long time? Does it have longevity or?
Is there longevity in this project? No,
I think that's
there's
why.
no longevity here.
They're fairly new and they're not like the most popular ones. So I feel like there's going to be ones that are going to be around forever, and there's going to be ones that are like, they just because they're a business, right? They could go out of business if they don't keep the sales up, right? So,
Mhm.
all right. So that's good to know for you guys out there. And then we're going to probe one more and bring it over to the other side for our members. This one is very popular. I personally don't have one either for my own reasons, but let's see how it scores today. We probed it last time also. So this is the Ledger, and we're going to probe the Ledger Nano X, this one here, because this is like the most popular one that they have. Ledger Nano X. On a scale of 1 to 10 to my master team, how well does Ledger Nano X do for security and longevity?
Does Ledger Nano X do for security and longevity? Now that's an 8.
Interesting. Okay, because now last time we just probed Ledger in general and we got a low score. So can we just do that also? Let's just grab like the Ledger wallet in general. Can we ask you
Okay.
in general, how well does it score in terms of security and longevity?
General, how well does it score for security? The security is an 8 for longevity. So the longevity is an 8 too.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're probably the most popular hardware wallet, I would say, on the market.
Oh, okay.
But I've had some issues with them in the past, and I'll share that with you, and I did last time. Their wallets have been secure so far. However, their business in the back, the way that they're running the business, I think they've changed hands with the people that run it a few times now. So maybe that's why it's scoring higher. Maybe they've cleaned up their act, but in the past they've leaked people's personal data twice. So like
Oh,
like they didn't do it on purpose, obviously, that I know of, but it was a hack, right? So if they're not keeping people's personal data like secure, then I have to wonder, right? You would wonder. So I know that they've changed hands, I think, the people that run it. So is that why we're getting a different score now than we did before? Is it because the company is now being run better?
no, is that why we're getting a different score than before because the company's now yeah, it's more secure. Yes.
Okay. The other concern
I
that I
did not know that. So what happened? Like, what happens if somebody's information is leaked, though? If it's on a hardware wallet, it's still
No, no,
at the
no. We're
house.
talking about private data. So like their email
Oh,
address, their phone number, their address,
oh,
right? Because they have to do billing for this stuff. They have customers, right, in the real world. And so their databases were hacked. So
oh,
it had nothing to do with crypto, but still their personal information was hacked. So then all the hackers now had the information of people that owned wallets. They didn't know what wallet it was, but they were now sending them phishing emails, right? And trying to, target them specifically because they were Ledger users with phishing emails saying, oh, you have to do this and do that. And they'll take them to a phishing site where they can get hacked. Yeah.
really?
Yes. And that's what happens, right? If your banking information is hacked, that's usually what happens. So they're going to start sending you targeted emails to see if they can get to release your passwords or whatever. That's how the hackers work. If they can get specific information on someone they think has money, then they're going to put more resources towards you to target you personally. And so anybody that holds a hardware wallet, then then they have a target. Yeah. So
I did not know that. So how would they be able to get into a hardware wallet through a phishing email?
So they would convince you to release your seed phrase to them because they're
Oh, I
customer
see.
service agents. And it sounds silly, but trust me, people fall for it every day. Because when you're in that situation, they're probably telling you this is an emergency. If you don't act now, you know what I mean? Like how scammers will put the pressure on you and they'll work with your emotions and you'll do things when you're in those high emotional states that you normally wouldn't do. So
Do you
that
know how many text messages I've been getting? Like, your package is out for delivery, but we cannot be delivered because we have the wrong address. Click here. Uh, and I almost clicked it. I
yeah.
almost was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, our package is in. And my husband was like, oh my God, please do not click on those links because they're just going to steal all your information.
Right.
I almost clicked on it.
Yeah, and some of them are pretty clever, right? And also if it like you just synchronistically had like a package that was coming that was really important, right? You might not think about it. So that's how it happens. So you always have to be vigilant on the internet. It's not just with crypto, but even for your banking information as well. And these are all stuff that I cover how to avoid this stuff, obviously on my consults also. Um, okay, the other thing I wanted to ask about Ledger before we move on to the next part of this video is they have this like extra thing that you can sign up for, and it's called oh my God, what is it called? Let's see if it's here. Ledger Recovery, right here, Ledger
Hmm.
Recovery. And this, in my opinion, could be a backdoor or a way for to get hacked if you signed up for it,
Mm.
because they're basically creating a backup for your wallet in case you lose your backup. Like you were saying, like, oh my God, if I ever lost, I'd have to put in a safety deposit box because I'm just going to lose it in my house. Well, they offer this service where just in case you do, it's supposedly secure somewhere. And I don't know how it actually works, but that for me defeats the purpose of you handling your own funds. Like that's the whole point of this, so that nobody else is in charge of it. So can we ask my master team about the ledger recovery service? Is that going to be secure going forward on a scale of 1 to 10?
The ledger recovery service is that secure going forward on a scale of 1 to 10? No,
Okay. Yeah. It
you
was
were
a
right.
huge red flag for me. And a lot of people too. I mean, a lot of people have been scared away from Ledger because of that. They released that. Now you opt out. You can opt you can opt out of it. And so if you want to be a Ledger user or you're already a Ledger user, that's my personal recommendation. And it sounds like from the data that we have today, that's kind of backed up from what we're hearing today as well. So don't panic out there.
Um,
Just just if you do have it, you might need to start up a new wallet and move your assets. And if you're going to buy a ledger, then don't opt in. And if you do have one and you haven't opted in, I think it sounds like you should be okay. So don't
mm,
panic. That's what I don't want people to do. Um, okay. So we're gonna end this part of the video. We're gonna have a part two where we got a bunch more to go through. Some ones I'm interested in hear from because they're newer, kind of cooler ones as well, and some of the ones we probed before that also scored high. So you definitely don't want to miss that because if we find a landmine, that's the important information here. So we hope to see you on the second part of this video. And we really appreciate all those that support us, and we hope that you will be a supporter as well. So we'll see you on the other side.
well, thank you. Gosh, this was a lot of information. We still have a lot more to cover. All right. Thank you.